Won't be a walk of shame in the morning, ladies. It'll be a stride of pride.
Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada. The basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother.
Is there anything else we should talk about?
Let's close it out. Unless you want us to touch on anything else.
Yeah, I want to ask you guys question. Can I ask you guys?
Yes, hell yeah.
Oh, turn it around.
Yeah.
I want your opinion and your advice on working together with someone that you are in a relationship with and how that works out. And you said you both have ADHD?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So see, it's not every day that two people with ADHD are together. Usually it's like opposite kind of. Yeah, one or the other, because you have someone that's like the anchor that can snap the other one out of it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, that's affected you and working together and having the same like?
Well, first, before I met him, I had pretty much told myself that I wanted to be with somebody that had ADHD because I was so sick of being misunderstood. You know, it was really hard for me to be around people that thought I was crazy, really, and like couldn't understand how my brain worked. And I was I felt like I really felt crazy when I was with people without ADHD because they just didn't understand. I didn't get grace, you know, if I didn't listen good enough or I didn't remember to do something that I said I was going to do.
You don't care or something.
Yeah, I got told that so many times, which is part of the reason why I got diagnosed. Like, you just don't care what I have to say. And I physically know where my brain was at in that moment, you know? So I knew that I wanted to meet somebody with ADHD. And genuinely, when I met him and one of the very first conversations that I had, I got off the phone like, okay, like somebody that I can have a conversation with like that, that's the kind of man I want to be with. Like, not necessarily him in that moment, you know, but I was like, man, that was such a good conversation. Like, we understood each other so much that I just knew. I knew that I wanted to be with somebody with ADHD because I felt like relationship wise, it's a lot of passion and it's a lot of ups and downs, and we're both controlling. We have that, you know, alpha personality.
Alpha house.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Drop the brand. Drop
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, and if you guys want to check out Alpha House, go check it out. You know what I mean?
We just heard that if we said, you know, Joe Rogan in the podcast.
Anybody. I was going to ask you your favorite podcaster just to get somebody.
Anyways, sorry. But anyway, so it has its up and downs. I think that we have a lot of passion with work and in just our relationship because of our ADHD. And at work, you know, we both are very passionate and we both want things to get done and we want them to be done our way. And like, just like you have a hard time delegating. Right?
Yeah, because you don't want to release control.
Yes,
because they're not going to do it like you do it.
We literally have to make it like black and white. Like, I'm like, the only way this can work is if you're in charge of this and I'm in charge of that. Like, that's the only way, because otherwise there's something we're not going to agree on, which is fine. And sometimes we're so passionate that we don't want to hear each other's side. But we have done really, really good. Sorry, I'll let you talk. I'm just yapping.
No, I'm listening.
But we've worked together for the last 3 years, and I'll let you tell this part about, because he started the business, and then I came in about 3 years ago.
So she was asking what, like, is it
like
good
how,
or bad
yeah.
working
So that now it's your turn.
Yeah, like that. You have so many similar, like you work together, you both have ADHD.
Yeah.
Like, is it so two almost the same or seeing each other so much?
So
like, how'd you make it?
So for me, it's hard. Still to this day, it's a little bit hard because I'm a male. I have like abandonment issues. So when I do something like what I do, I'm very passionate and it's my way. And that's my accolades, right? Like, I've grinded 15 years. This is mine. So then when I have a wife that is similar, that comes in, my ego battles itself because I want to be like, no, I built this. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And really she's like, honey, just look at it this way. Just like this podcast. Yesterday we were having a meeting and she chimed in and she said, I think we should move the couches. I didn't like the background on the last one. And right away I'm like, no. Like, in my head, that's the ADHD, the alpha mentality.
Yeah.
This was her idea and it's set up nicer. So once I realized, once we moved it around, I'm like, I apologize. I should have listened. But it
Once
could
you
be
saw
tough.
it. Yeah.
But also it feels safer because I have somebody else protecting me. Like when I see a procedure and the bottom of the procedure says, if any calls go to Elliot, make sure this, and this. And then it comes to me, her, and then Elliot. I feel grateful. Like, okay, I'll take the L in my ego to have somebody protect me or make me feel safe. But it's hard for me to delegate. It was so that.
And trust. It's very hard for him to trust. It took a lot to pull things away from him. Like, and say, okay, you have no reason to be doing this. Give it to me. And he's like, but do it. I'm like, just give it to me. Like, trust me. It took me a long time to earn his trust. And he said it a couple times and I'm going to say it. I really know that he trusts me because he will allow me to make decisions or he'll trust people to go to me to ask me questions. And that I know is like my own accolade of being there is that he genuinely trusts me being there.
But how she earned it though is like, for me, my trust, how she earned my trust was just motion and consistency and knowing like even when she does make a mistake or I make a mistake, she owns it. So then I'm like, all right, I could trust that. Like even to let her invoice is a simple process, but I wouldn't let them take it. So like when I'm listening to you, I don't know the industry, but what I will.
There's similarities. With that.
You want a team around you. So I have a lady now that actually will send me my bank account information, which if you tell anybody that's wild, right? Like somebody's looking at your bank account and I feel like that, but you just have to, for me, I just had to trust. And once I did, luckily she was the right person. But it grows into like this family that I never had. So like some of these people around me are shit, they know more about me than my mom does or my dad does or my kids do or she does. Like it's like a big loving family.
Yeah.
But
I think that's a good thing to even let you know that about like delegation, because I know that it's really hard for somebody that has put all of their work into their craft. And then to like give it to somebody and trust that they're going to do it as good as you. They probably won't, or care about it as much as you do. They probably won't. But you do, we have built the company tenfold since I've been there is because of delegation. And because there's no way in hell he was going to be able to do all of those things.
You cap yourself out. You do
100%.
And then you know what it does is it takes away from your creation. So if you're a creator, if you're an artist, if you're artistic, that's what I am. Maybe not in your space, but my space. All those little things like sending an invoice, writing a proposal, meeting somebody at a job site, that shit takes away from your creation. And then that creation turns into a job. So I just was schooled last week on this by a business owner that's been in business 2 years. I've been in business 15 years. This is me.
Sometimes it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's me catching game, right?
Yeah.
I said, what do you do all day? Because he's always moving around and shit. I feel locked in. He's like, he told me a story and I thought, man, why am I not able to go drive and do stuff? Like, why am I locked in all the time? He said, write a list of everything you do in the day. Circle everything that doesn't make you money. Like sending an invoice, obviously you're going to get money, but that doesn't make you money. Picking up the phone doesn't make it brings in customers, but you're not creating something. You're not making the money. So I literally started last week writing everything I do for the day. And I'm going to go through and start circling it. And then I talked to my other buddy that's been in business 18 years and he sold a company. And I asked him just Friday, I said, what do you do all day? And he says, I just go in my office and I create procedures and create this and that. And I'm like, okay, that's what I need. I need to be in my creative state. Cause my state, I'm too ADHD. If they tell me to write a procedure, I'll write 10 rules and forget the other 2 and misspell 2 sentences backwards or some shit, you know?
Then you've already started something else.
Yeah, because then my mind's like, this, that, this, like it's too much. I just want to create. I want to figure out why are we spending an extra $1,200 on gasoline? Like, I want to figure that out. I want to put we were watching Mr. Beast, and when he put his chocolate in stores, he got a backpack with the hidden camera because they kept falling off. So he would go plant them. He would pay people to plant them. watches chocolate and he figured out the box, it wasn't weighted right, so it'd fall over. That's the kind of shit I want to do for what I do. Like pop up, see what they're doing, like just create. And for you, it would be good.
Ideas and
because there's got to be stuff in like your everyday life or whatever that you don't necessarily love to do. You know, I think it's starting with those things, like finding somebody that you can at least give those things to and just to get a little bit more off your plate to do more and do more. And that's kind of what it was. It was just, I was seeing little things he was doing. Like, I was like, you don't need to be doing invoices. I didn't necessarily want to be doing invoices, but I took them from him because it was something I could do a little bit at a time. And then when we got big enough, then I got to hire an accounting person because I hate invoicing, but I took it from him so he can create more here. Now I'm doing this. And then, you know, so it really
I think this is
just
a good game for self-employed people and stuff like that. And especially like, when we're self-employed too, a lot of mistakes we make are just hiring our friends sometimes to do all different things. And because it's like we trust our friends, but that doesn't always mean
there's two sides.
It depends. Like, and certain friends might be really good for something, but sometimes it's like, okay, that
hard.
Wasn't like,
we've hired and fired my son 3 times.
Your son? Have you ever hired friends and you have to like tell your friend they're not doing a good job or demote them or whatever? And how do you do that?
So me, I don't like confrontation.
Yeah, it's hard.
I will.
He's like, Erica, you gotta.
I'll be confrontational if I have to,
am.
but it's usually when I'm already red, like I don't remember. So again, that's something where I hired somebody that does that. So when the decision is made, it's not 2 people, it's not me, not 2 people, it's 3 people, right? Okay. So if somebody's gonna get let go, we get in a room and we call it like the battle room, right? So we just start going back and forth, and whoever wins, the other side has to understand. It's not whoever wins. It's like, let me hear your side. I'll state my side. Okay, what do we decide? And then it's carried out by somebody that is hired by us.
Right. So it's not just like, I think this. It's like, no, there's 3 of us, and then the numbers say this and this and that.
Well, there's been times where I had to do that, and it's so nerve-wracking. It's so hard.
Are you friends with them later still? It's hard, right?
Well, the guy that was just here today shooting a YouTube bit with us, he was actually the first guy I had to let go. And I honestly set it up for him to be let go by somebody else. And I was telling her at night, and she said, nah, he looks up to you. You have to do it. So when we were building this house, I literally drove in front, and dude, I was shaking and shit. Like, it was so nerve-wracking. It's so sad. It's so sad, but it's business. And in business, you got to make money. If you're not making money, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
So that's what sticks in my head of like, yo, I got no choice. I don't like it. I hate it.
Yeah, he actually just made a rule now that we've gotten a little bit bigger, is like no more family, no more friends. Like, it's too rough. I mean, it is too rough because you're banking on, them selling themselves to you. Oh, I could do this. And you're like, all right, that sounds such a great idea.
My friends on.
Yeah. And then you're like trying to be in business mode, and they're too talky, or they're, it's like too much. Yeah. It's too much. So he really just made this new rule because it was very family, very family friends in the beginning. And now it's like a little bit at a time, we've kind of weeded that out. And now it's the people that are right for the job.
Yeah. And it can be hard because then there's people who be like, you change this change. And it's like, no, it's just that
the growth. You
got to grow. Yeah. And you got to grow with me. Well, I can't just carry you.
Yeah. And people see like, same as in your industry. If they see them at the Grammys, they see us at doing a lunch and learn or something, they just think, oh, where'd they come from? Like, our sales team was in lunch and learn last week or 2 weeks ago, and they asked our sales team, you guys been around 15 years. Why don't I know about you guys? And he couldn't answer the question. Like they've never seen us, but we're still putting in the work. So that's where I'm like, that's where my ego pops. Like, bro, what do you mean you haven't seen us? I tell her, can we put billboards all over next to their offices and shit? Like
crazy.
But which we won't do it, but it's a challenge because people only see what's pretty. They don't see the grind. They've never seen me 1999 with this one at 17 years old, getting in the passenger seat to get in the driver's seat. Nobody sees that shit. People see you pull up in a Corvette. Oh shit. He has money. Nah, we work for this.
Or they think they're like the be all end all if they haven't heard of it. You could be really popular or something. Like, people every once in a while see a comment and be like, oh, where's she been? I thought she wasn't, you're still making music kind of thing. And it's like, I've only technically gotten bigger, like numbers wise or sales wise. So it's like, man, but that's like a sting. It's like, ooh, like almost like you fell off kind of thing. And it's like, hold up. And just because you haven't, like, I've been bigger maybe in this realm that you haven't been like tapped into maybe as much. And in that space, I'm like really big to them. And then somewhere else, they'd be like, I've never heard of her, or like, I haven't heard her name for a minute. So that means she's not on or something. Yeah, it is definitely a
in
thing.
your industry, that's hard too.
Oh yeah,
it's social.
That's an ego thing for sure.
And then you get somebody that'll get like a TikTok hit and just go crazy, and you're like, "What the fuck? I've been grinding."
All it takes is one song, one video, and it can make your whole life change. You know?
Yeah, it takes years to be an overnight success.
I know.
Or the people that get success right away, they usually end up failing because they go. You get the success so fast.
They don't know how to maintain that.
They don't know the management. They don't know the business portion, right? So they may get millions of dollars at first, but if you're not smart with it, you're going to lose that shit quick.
Oh yeah. Like if you had to know how to make a music video with no money and get $10,000 somehow, you figure out how to make it. And then when you have it, you're like, I remember having to walk around the businesses to have this. So I'm not going to just like,
you have way more appreciation for it.
Oh, so much. So I'm sure you guys are like that too. And you'll be able to maintain it. But I agree. I call it like microwave rappers or whatever, when they heat up real quick.
Yeah.
It's like microwave rappers because they heat up fast, but they're not as good as something that's slow cooked in the oven. You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
It's that's kind of my term for people.
I think
who
there's
just,
a lot of rappers that are underrated. I mean, there's some, they can rap, but they're underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, business is it's a whole challenge.
Dude.
It's never ending is the problem. It's
yeah.
But you don't want it to end, right? But in my brain, I'm like, I want it to end, but no, I don't want it to end.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
You're going to be doing something else.
People always say that. Like I was going to say that to you guys because I'm sure you agree. Like when they think if you have your like dream job or your dream girl or your dream whatever, it's not like, okay, now you just have it. It's every day you're working to maintain that so that you still have it. So it's not like you just have your dream job and then that's it. Yeah. It's like, 100%. Okay, you took a shower, now you're clean. You have to take a shower every day to stay clean. Like, it's the maintenance of it. So,
and earlier I agreed with you when you said like, once you get an award, our ADHD brain is thinking of something else. I'm like, when I'm always looking for the next check, right? We all are being self-employed. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, Kelsey, when's a big check coming in? Big check. Mm-hmm. Soon as we get it, I'm not like, I'm like, oh shit, when's the next big check? We got to get the next big check, and then I'm just hyper focused.
I know, but we gotta also find that happy medium, because then we don't appreciate all the times like, okay, how long it took us just to get to this one thing and sit there and like, let me enjoy it for like a second. Like, let me sit here and be like, we worked really hard for this one, guys. We're already like, next thing. Cause I feel that too. And I'm like, next thing, until like we're so old that we like, I don't know, can't enjoy anything. Like,
we'll know when we're about to die. Usually is when your brain flips and you're like, oh, this is
won't wait that long.
Don't wait that long. You guys listening, don't wait for that.
You got any more questions?
Man, I'm sure I could come up with a whole slew of questions just for you guys.
No, go ahead. You can ask questions.
Yeah, like I wish I had time even more to prep to know that I was going to flip it on you guys. Because I'm like, being entrepreneurs and being like vloggers and everything like that and having crazy stories. Like, in the day and age too, where there's so much heat coming down on family vloggers, how do you feel like you are different within the space and you're putting like, obviously I know you guys, so I know in comparison to some of these family vloggers that I'm talking about, but how would you explain it to someone watching? Like, hey, this is not... We're like trying to beat this stereotype about family vlogging.
So, I'm not even, I don't really watch a lot of YouTube, only when it does become controversial, like probably a lot of other people. So we're waiting for a controversial moment. I'm just kidding.
We're not.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyways, so I mean, obviously I've heard about, the whole family vlogging and that we don't force our kids to do anything they don't want to do. That's number one. I mean, I get some of them are young and, maybe later down the road, they might not want some of the stuff that's on there down. I mean, we respect our kids a lot. So if that day were to ever come and they want us to take certain things down, we'll take them down. It's pretty much that simple. It's nothing's more important to us than our kids. So, I get they can't make their decisions now. And I think that's what people are saying, like, these kids are too young to make their decisions. And we know our kids and which ones really like to be a part of the vlog and which ones don't really like to be a part of the vlog. And we don't force that.
I think it's important too to establish that you guys already had a business that you worked very hard to get, and you guys are successful from that and are using that to fund the vlog, rather than, I think, something about the problematic family vlogs, or they're using things just to get money from the vlog and fund their lifestyle, and their main source, their only source really is coming from doing crazy things or doing crazy things with their kids that are really young and forcing them to be on camera and stuff. And their primary income is from that. They don't have other businesses that they've set up maybe that are successful, that they're trying to document their life of that.
Yeah. And thank you for seeing that. And thank you for noticing that. I mean, we've had the conversation that, like, what if it, you know, of course, like, we would love to do this for monetization or, I mean, I think that's everybody's goal. However, we both had conversations. If that's just not where it goes, it's really cool to have these memories. You know, it's really cool to be able to look back, because we're as raw as we possibly can be.
I think that's what goes to your original question. I don't mean to cut you off, but when you watch family vlogs, it's not to me, because I'm a YouTuber. Yeah. Well, when I say YouTuber, I like to watch YouTube. Yeah. But
and a YouTuber.
You're a fan and you post. Yeah.
When you watch them, it's so like by the book. We cuss. We're our normal selves. I'm sure Dee has footage where she's like, "Oh shit, we're not putting that in there." Like we're as genuine as it comes. And I've seen some comments lately that said, "Oh, it was nice until you guys cussed." Well,
that's just kind of
it's just who we are. Like we're not gonna fake it to make it. We don't need to, right? Like we're doing it because we want to. We don't need to. And that goes back to what you're saying. Some vloggers start putting so much pressure on the whole family because they're starting to live that lifestyle. If we wake up and we're not in the mood to record, we don't record. Like it's just as simple as that. But we're grateful enough to do that. But it took a long time to get to that spot, and we're just trying to see a different route.
Yeah, and it's good. And then you don't have to keep up an appearance of something you created that's not you, because if it was just like all being more straight-laced and stuff, and then that started to kind of blow up, and then you were like, now we have to just always be like this.
Yeah, I could like never.
Not a real situation.
I've worked too hard to live a life without a mask on, you know? Like to just wake up and be myself. I've worked way too hard to do that, to put a mask back on or whatever. And we pick up that vlog as soon as we wake up, and I rarely ever have makeup on where I'm watching it back going, oh good, I probably should have.
That's one of the biggest differences I've seen in music and stuff too, is it used to be about just like the performances and the shows and the music, and now it's like who you're dating and who you're like, and your like personal life, and how you can see at any given second what your favorite artist is doing and stuff like that. And it does feel very invasive, and that's from a level I'm not even, like a massive A-list celebrity or anything like that, but it already feels like, when did it become about, I have to also post about this and this and XYZ? Yeah. Can't I just put everything into like a great music video or whatever? But it's like, oh no, you're not posting enough about what you're doing all day and shit.
Because you're interesting though. People are interested. But you don't post a lot of personal stuff, which is a cool thing.
I did for the last like couple months. I would say I haven't, but like I was a lot before. And I go through modes of it. Like sometimes I'm feeling more of a recluse than other times. And like, so I have to kind of really be in a vibe to like hop on and be posting, and I'll try to live stream and stuff more than before. Cause I do like to have conversations with the fans and stuff too, and connect with them personally. But now it just feels like, you're more than just an artist. You're like a reality show star sometimes. And that can be a lot, like,
cause it's filled off of negativity.
Cause there is a lot that's like that. It is fueled off of something controversial going on, or something clickbaity or whatever. It's going to get more views if the song's about someone and they know who it's about, and this and that and crazy. And I can see why, because I'm intrigued, as I would be lying if it wasn't like, oh wait, what's this? Like, who's this to, or whatever. If someone's beefing with someone, I'm like, wait, what, why? Like, you're just naturally, like, human nature. You are like curious. I get it. But it is a lot of pressure as an artist too, to not just have like a really good song or really put on a really sick show. It's just like, you have to have this whole other back backstory of like, something crazy.
Yeah,
that's
some kind
happening.
of drama.
And sometimes
some
you're just at home, like trying to record, and it's not as like, it is an interesting life, I'm sure, compared to maybe people who don't like their jobs and stuff.
Mhm.
But sometimes, I'm like, I'm not even talking to anyone today. I'm just like here trying to record, and it's probably not that interesting me sitting here, going through beats or doing something or doing budgeting sheets. Like we do that stuff, doing my taxes. What, you want me to just like freaking
but I'm sure people
like,
would
hey,
love
I'm doing my taxes. What's up? Like,
I would love to watch you do your taxes.
Good
with
content, bro. Good content. Sick,
Just don't put your EIN on there.
Right. The IRS. Show the IRS that I'm doing my taxes right here, just so you know.
Filed.
Don't audit.
Yeah, all that stuff. Because they only like the award show stuff. Like I only feel like I'm like, should I only post in when I'm like at the Grammys or what? Or am I posting when I'm just at my house like anyone
Your
else?
people will watch you. I mean, that's what I've realized.
You have a
your
strong
community,
fan base.
you do have a good community, and they're watching. Even if you're only getting 500 views, I guarantee you those are the 500 people that fucking watch you every single thing. You know, those are your people.
See, that's what I was going to ask too. Cause you'll go on live stream on like TikTok and stuff sometimes. And you're just like, what? Just getting ready and just, I've never really just done something like that.
Yeah, but you should because
that gives me more anxiety than like going out on a show. You're like, how do you get ready to like go out on stage? I'm like, but I'm mentally prepared. I'm like all day I knew I was going to be doing this show, right?
Yeah.
I'm ready. I like, got dressed for it, got my makeup on and stuff. To me, it's way more anxiety ridden to think of just setting up my camera right now and like
looking at yourself and reading
and
comments.
Just like, it feels fucking so
that's
much
why I always do
crazier.
That's why I go live when I'm usually doing something, because it is very awkward, especially if like you only have a few people in there and nobody's really talking or whatever. Like I go through that. But I'll do it. Like I'll get my little phone stand over there on the counter and just put my phone up on my vanity while I just get ready, which you could totally do. I'm sure people would love to watch you do your makeup,
That's so
and then you
crazy.
just kind of talk while you're doing
crazy.
it. And you just get used to it. But I've built my community the most by doing lives, like going on lives, because
so cool.
that's how I remember a lot of people's names is from the lives. Like, cause there's a lot of people that are like, oh my gosh, I'm watching you, so long or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know their name or I feel bad. But if they're in my live every single time, I get to know them.
That.
Yes, I've become friends with a couple of just solid ass people that are always in my live. And I like that feel. I like that community feeling. And I think, Dee always says it. That's like the closest you'll ever be to somebody is their live,
That is true.
And
but
because they feel like they can't have access to you. But if you're live, they're like, wow, she's just like talking to us.
And as a consumer, I'll hop in like little. So what I do is I go through lives, but if they have a large number, I won't get on. I always find the ones with like the 3 to 10 people. But I do that because when I comment, they read them. So I feel good. My ego's tapped a little bit, right? They're like, Mr.
You got
Erica,
some serotonin.
anus. Yeah. I'm like, so then you start having these full conversations with some random people. Like I was just talking to a guy that just got out of prison and I don't know his name or anything. I just started talking to him through live. It's cool.
And you just built community.
One of the guys that work for us now, actually we met through TikTok.
And he's a great worker.
Yeah, he's a
Don't
great.
hire your friends through TikTok.
No, he's he's like a really
awesome.
good. Yeah, he's like a really good.
That one was a good decision. Okay.
Yeah, it was a good decision. Yeah, because he wasn't too close. We had just met him on there. He actually made friends with somebody else, which introduced him technically.
And when he came in, the guy we brought in, Sean said immediately, I see what they do on TikTok. And Lee says, no, this is only what we do. And that's it.
Yeah.
And then it even put me in my place. Like, let's not talk about that. So
Yeah,
it's
we're not bringing
completely
that into
separate.
it.
Separate. Yeah.
Like it took him a couple months even to get my phone
I honestly
number.
don't do that. I'm just myself. I go in there and I'll make TikToks. I probably piss everybody off. I'll be like in the fucking meeting room and shit,
Because that's like my hardest thing, I would say, like the live thing. I think that's more anxiety ridden than something maybe you're prepped to do. Yeah, no.
Sounds like that's something that you got to do so you can beat the fear of it.
Like, hey.
And the reason I say you got good fans is when we collaborated on the Instagram post, dude, your fans were DMing me. Like
That's awesome.
Not only commenting, but they were DMing me like, "Yo, you know Whitney," and I'm not gonna like reply back or anything like that. But you can. She's a bitch. I know.
Yeah, you don't know who she really is.
I mean, that could be rude, but I didn't want to
Exposed.
lead them in the wrong way, right? But you have a strong fan base. If you were to go
Oh,
live,
yeah, I'm
but
very
don't go
lucky.
live on Insta. Go live on TikTok because I've seen you
Okay.
live on Insta.
Yeah, I've done that
Yeah.
for sure.
But go live on TikTok.
I'd be so exposed. Everything's like in real time. So it's like Alexa's like, don't forget to take your crazy pills. I'm like, shut up.
But then you get to talk about
No, I'm just kidding.
my Tic Tacs. Yeah, I got my Tic Tacs.
People relate to that shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the realer you are, obviously, the better community that you're gonna have because they're gonna be the ones that actually fuck with you. You know what I mean?
I mean, you could always cut this random stuff up for like little reels.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
YouTube
for
stuff.
sure.
It should
But
be-
I'm always willing
It
to
should
talk to
be
you guys.
it should be us interviewing Whitney and then the little clip of her interviewing us, you know.